On this week's episode of the ADCs of Wrestling, we talk about an inspired performance by one Paul Heyman. Hey man, you okay? Hilarious. Is the NWO the only way to go? And what you gonna do when Hulk Hogan drops a big announcement in October? We talk about that, plus a strange invader on the show last week. It seems like I have some kind of drone guarding my YouTube channel. I don't know. Hey, what the hell?
This is ChanGuard1.
Oh, God.
Your channel about wrestling dicks.
No, it's not.
Is now ours forever. Let's go.
Let's go! Let's go! Oh, hell yeah! Are you ready for a show with questionable wrestling impressions by a guy I know? It's gotta be ADC! Ooh, yeah, dig it! ADC! Let me tell you something, ADC! He watches wrestling! Matt the Mark is awesome, Michael! Did you know you're ADCs, the ADCs of wrestling?
Welcome to the ADCs of Wrestling. I'm your host, Andrew David Cox, the Weird Al of Wrestling, if you will. Matt the Mark, welcome back to the show. How you doing today, my friend?
Doing great, man. Pretty happy to be here.
You had a good week? You had a nice... You seem like you were really super tired.
Yeah. It's funny enough, in the last week and a half, I just have been getting 3-4 hours of sleep, waking up at 2-3 in the morning.
That's not enough sleep.
No, it's not. But I think it's just, stressed out. We found out the gender of said child last week.
Are you gonna announce it on the show? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I put you on the spot. Okay.
We're gonna have ourselves a little Mark.
Aww.
We're having ourselves a little Matt the Mark Jr.
That's amazing.
If you will.
Are you gonna get him little wrestling boots and a?
Oh yeah, he's I'm putting him in wrestling
right.
ASAP. Yeah, he's gonna be taking a bump right out the womb.
That's awesome. You're gonna break that kid's nose with a baseball someday.
Gonna try.
Hey, speaking of taking bumps, I hard-weighed myself on the kitchen cabinet yesterday. So
yeah, you sent me a picture. I almost threw up.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You know what I looked like? I looked like Randy Orton after his run-in with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2 years ago.
Yeah. Was that 2 years ago already?
I think so. It wasn't last year. Wasn't last year the four-way with Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe and Lesnar and all that?
I feel like everything's melted together.
Yeah.
Was it that long ago?
I think so.
Either way, when I got here, you were showing me on the exact cupboard that you hit it on, and it made me want to throw up.
Yeah, it's gross. I don't know. Yeah. Should I tweet the video? I sent you a video right after I fucking demolished my cranium.
Well, the video, or even just take a picture of it, because it's pretty gross. The video, it's pretty fresh though, so maybe just get the video out there.
Yeah, except the freshness makes it a little disgusting.
Yeah,
it's
but
just
that's
hey, check it out. Here's my glistening, glowing, wet, disgusting, fucking surface wound.
At first, when I sent that, I'm like, listen, it's just a podcast. You don't need to be blading. But
yeah, well, you know what? I live the gimmick, brother. I'm taking bumps out there. It's just gigging myself before the pod.
Yeah,
I'm getting a little color this week, brother.
I will say though, the Band-Aid on your bald head is quite attractive.
Oh, it's perfect. Yeah. I really feel like I just had a classic. But don't worry, I didn't tap. I pass out, brother.
I don't really understand the Thomas the Train Band-Aids, but whatever.
That is flagrant and false, and I will not let you get away with that. Steve's been going around all week just trying to convince people that he's been straight up whipping my ass, but that's bullshit.
Sure.
Goddamn right I whipped your ass. That ain't no Band-Aid from hitting your head on the kitchen cabinets. I straight up kissed your cranium with some steel, motherfucker, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Wow, he's ornery pretty early this one.
Yeah, well, he's a liar.
Yeah.
He's straight up just a liar. Work on your song, Steve.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, is he going to finish that anytime soon?
No. What a surprise he would pretend he can't hear me when I suggest he be productive. Yeah, no Stunners back yet. Not yet. We will bring Stunners back eventually, but I've been busy. I'm just going to start saying that at the end of every... It's going to be my thing. At the end of the Masked Man show every week, they just say apologies to Dean Ambrose. They just say that at the end of the show. It's just apologies to Dean Ambrose as always. We'll see you next week on the Masked Man show. And I actually don't even understand the reference, but I like it. So maybe at the end of this week's show, I'll just be like, no Stunners back video yet, guys, but it's coming. It's coming. This is like my Dre Detox album. Just everybody is waiting on it. It's going to drop someday, I swear.
I mean, yeah, we're coming on 2 weeks now, so I mean, let's do this.
Well, let's be honest. I'm still a little bit worried about the name of my YouTube channel. We'll get into that a bit later. Let's run down the show.
Sure.
The following podcast is scheduled for 1 hour with more than likely some overrun. First, we're going to start with some news from around the world of professional wrestling. We're going to talk a little bit of NXT today.
Yep.
We're going to talk Raw and SmackDown Live as usual, and then, of course, we have Just Two Tweets. This week, guys, you really went above and beyond the call of duty for the Just Two Tweets. We got lots of them.
You said duty.
Yeah. Hey, you said duty. I had to actually pare down for once this week. So
yeah, which is cool.
It's very amazing, cool. But I just took the best I could to try to represent all the foundation in the proceedings. Yeah, NXT, we're definitely going to talk about my
Have you caught up yet? Like, where are you at?
I tried to watch some last night, but my login for the WWE Network through Kojiko, the cable provider, was being sketchy, so I couldn't actually watch. I wanted to watch at least the most recent episode because that'll obviously recap what's been happening, whatever. But we'll get into it. First, I guess we should talk about this like NWO-centric announcement that apparently Hulk Hogan has.
Yeah. I hope. I mean, it's always cool when guys come back for an appearance or that sort of thing, but like this has been done. So I'm hoping that this isn't just something where the three of them come out, they do their finishers to a couple guys, jobbers, and then they leave and that's it. I almost hope this is something where if Hogan is coming back, he starts like a new NWO faction and starts bringing guys in. Not a huge one, but big enough that it becomes relevant again.
I don't think that's what it's going to be.
Of course it's not. I'm hoping.
So here's the deal.
Okay. What's the deal?
The reason I think that this is completely impossible is, well, first and foremost, he can't wrestle, obviously. And to bring him back, like, first and foremost, doing an NWO thing before he's really kind of, done the actual apology tour on TV seems really weird. But also, if you look at what the actual thing is, it's like October 27th, go to hulkhogan.com or whatever. Very special is going to happen on the 27th. It's in like Comic Sans font. It's the lowest budget thing. There's no way this is a WWE machine
He
production.
just figured out how to use a computer.
Well, he's got the whole thing where he's just figured out how to use Twitter for the last like 8 years.
Yeah.
He's always like, this is a great announcement, brother HH.
I love how he signs off all this.
He always just signs up with HH, brother. What you gonna do when Twitter confuses you? So,
but couldn't he come back as a manager? Like, obviously he can't.
I mean,
wrestle.
I guess he can. What I think it would be, aside from a return to WWE, could they be maybe promoting some kind of like an all-in type event, NWO focused, where the old timers are there and like they have new talent wrestle on like a Fight TV app pay-per-view? That's a possibility. What I also think seems relevant and possible and relatively fresh for Hulk Hogan would be a podcast. Imagine an NWO podcast.
Okay, yeah.
Hogan doesn't really do the pod circuit. He's not on a lot of people's shows.
Where he gets his own show.
Yeah, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash aren't on a lot of pods. If you had the three of them sitting around each week kind of shooting the shit and having fun.
Man, they could tell some stories.
Oh, they could tell stories, brother.
Okay, well, maybe Scott can't tell stories as we've seen.
Well, he's very PG on this show.
Maybe
and I don't,
real life Scott could.
I don't understand why he's so PG on this show, because if you saw him on Instagram this week shooting his shot.
Yeah.
There was a poster or a picture of some girl, and it was talking about where she could sit.
Yeah.
And it was, wow.
Staying away from it.
Scott, keep it classy, bad guy.
Scott should listen to this
Say
show.
hello to poor form on Instagram.
Listen to this show. Listen to this show. Form yourself after this.
I got to find a new way for Scott to show up in the show.
I don't know. That's a pretty good one.
He's a good dude. Speaking of showing up, Aleister Black, unfortunately, will not be showing up at TakeOver Brooklyn.
This one hurts my soul. I know he's had surgery and that
it's knee
he's
surgery,
not
right?
be there. Groin
surgery. Ooh, groin.
I know.
Oh, my groin.
I know this is to lead to him not coming because he's had surgery and so on, but I almost kind of hope that it's still a possibility he shows up and they were just laying this down in case he can't, and then he makes a surprise appearance. I don't know.
We always hope for stuff like that as a wrestling fan, don't we?
Yeah, man, this sucks. I was so looking forward to this triple threat.
I know.
But, I mean, if the worst case we get out of it is Gargano Ciampa 3, or sorry, Ciampa.
Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, so I mean, if we get, 3 out of that, I'm pretty excited about that possibility, especially since this will be a wrestling match, not hardcore or anything like that.
Yeah, so it looks like we're getting number 3 of Johnny Wrestling versus the Sicilian psychopath Tommaso Ciampa.
Especially since I like Johnny's character right now.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of an edge to him, right?
Like, I don't know.
Very frustrating.
I'm sure
he's
you're going to
strung
catch
out.
up. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to catch up, and I'm going to spoil it a little bit for you. But
it's okay.
obviously he caused the loss for Black.
Yep.
And then last week, not last night, but last week he came. There was this really cool spot where Ciampa. It's Ciampa. He's doing his promo thing, gets in Grandma's face in the front row, like really just awesome heel stuff. And then Black's music hits. He's coming out slowly like he does. But then Johnny just like during Black's music just runs past him and starts attacking. Like it was just really cool. Like
it's good stuff.
You just don't see it, right? And then Black kicks him in the face, and it was just I like this new character for Johnny. So I think
he's got a rebel heart, Matt.
It's true.
He's got a rebel heart.
But it's funny because now his music is just doesn't suit this new character.
This rebel heart.
But I don't know. NXT in general.
I'm just going to sing his theme song for the rest of the day. If you don't like this, you better tune out. This is going to be another 45 minutes of me singing Gargano's music.
Okay, well, I'll keep talking about NXT.
I just turned off so many. We have like new listeners this week. They're like straight up, this guy sucks.
No, but
fuck your shit, ADC.
There's some great stuff going on. Like definitely, if you're not watching it, catch up. I know we try not to spend too much time on NXT because I could actually do a whole show on it just with how good it is. But I mean, you're gonna get Ricochet and Bay.
Well, what match are you most looking forward to? The Takeover. People are going to ask us that in just 2 tweets, but we might as well just talk about it right now.
Yeah, you know what? Probably for Takeover specifically, it's probably going to be that Ricochet Adam Cole match.
Yeah,
I think that's just going to be lights friggin' out.
That's going to be an outstanding show. Yeah. You know what? The one thing I'm worried about with a Gargano Ciampa 3 is if they didn't really anticipate having another round of this feud in a solo effort. Like, what is there left to do? They've had such long matches.
A wrestling match.
They
haven't had a wrestling match.
That's
the
true.
last 2 matches have just been brawls and trying to kill each other.
That's a good answer.
Like think about what they did in the Cruiserweight Classic 2 years ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in their like first round matchup. It was probably the best match of the entire tournament. So to think that now with these new characters.
I mean, along with, what was it? It was Kota Ibushi and...
Kota and...
was it Cedric Alexander that had that lights out match?
Yeah. Because then after that, Cedric lost, and they got the
police signed Cedric and all the whole thing. He's
like, I'm listening. I will.
It's so long ago, but either way,
he's going to be on Raw for a while, and then he's not going to be on Raw ever again.
Those two, just Johnny and Tommaso, they've got the chemistry, man. I think they'll have they'll go another 30 minutes, 45 minutes of just pure wrestling. It'll be unreal.
Hey, you know what I just realized?
What?
With the cruiserweights and stuff not really being on Raw and SmackDown, they're not on pay-per-view either. Like where are the cruiserweight championship matches and stuff being represented on pay-per-view?
It's going to be at SummerSlam. So Drew Gulak is facing Cedric Alexander, but it's going to be kickoff, right?
Yeah.
Like this is just where these guys. This is their lane now.
What mountain are they climbing? What's the apex for them? The peak.
Well,
the apex predator.
I honestly I haven't been watching it. I know it's been good because
people have been
telling me, and I do follow it on Twitter, but. It's just too much wrestling.
I know.
But they did have like a little kind of. I think they had a fatal 4-way or something that Drew Gulak ended up winning to be the #1 contender.
That's good. I like Drew. You want to talk about too much wrestling, man? They did the Parade of Champions last night for the Mae Young Classic. There's another piece of WWE programming I'm probably not going to end up watching much of because I just don't have a lot of time.
I'm going to try and pay attention to it a little bit because there's some
totally
interesting names
checked out
there.
on it last year, and I want to watch this year. I really do because a lot of them are going to show up in NXT, and I want to see how they performed at Mae Young Classic, and I'm interested to see how like the pairing of Renee Young and
which
Beth
is a
Phoenix.
Cool announcement.
Yeah.
Especially since Renee came out and said if they do ever add a female commentator to Raw or SmackDown, she wants to do it. So this could be a great little...
Sometimes she takes the stance of like, I'm not really a wrestler, I'm just a broadcaster. Yeah. So I feel like she would almost have to do play-by-play for it.
Play-by-play or color. Yeah. Like either way at the desk. Like that's what I'm talking about. She said if they ever add a female to the desk, that she'd want to do it. And
totally.
I mean, I can kind of see, I could see her doing it.
From what I heard last night, Renee and Beth Phoenix paired with, I forget who called it. I want to say was it Morrow? Must have been Morrow. They sounded pretty good. Also in wrestling around the world, have you seen that Tama Tonga and Roman Reigns have been going at it on Twitter?
Yeah, I don't know the point to this at all. Because I mean, unless there is something going on in the background where
I doubt there is
are going to clash, but there's no point to this at all.
No, you're not going to see some interpromotional thing between New Japan Pro Wrestling and WWE. So it's just guys trying to generate a buzz.
It's working.
It's
'cause people
working
are
well
talking
for
about
Tama
it.
Tonga, too.
But Tonga apparently is in some hot water with the New Japans. Apparently
Yeah, but then there's people who think that part of that is just a work. And then there's
Could
like,
be.
did you see that whole thing with Jay White and CJ Parker? And not CJ Parker. What the hell's his name now in New Japan? I forget his name.
I don't know.
Oh my God, I'm blanking right now. I'm gonna Google it. I'm giving it a Goog right now. CJ Parker, New Japan.
Either way, I don't know. I don't really understand the point to it. I get like the generating buzz.
Oh my
but-
God, what's his name? Juice Robinson.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the thing where they like
Juice, yeah.
took out Jim Ross and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and then friggin'
Oh, Ross was not happy about that.
no, he wasn't on his podcast. He was talking about it, and then
He was pissed.
yeah, his broadcast partner, whose name also I can't remember names. I think that I must have smashed my head against something recently.
Did you? Oh, that's right. You're Thomas the Tank Engine.
What?
Band-Aid.
I can't say where I'm dizzy.
Yeah, I
Josh
don't-
Barnett.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like even Tonga's coming down the ramp and he's doing the arm cock thing, and I'm like, man,
Hashtag armcocks.
like, I don't know. I get this guy's made himself relevant by doing this. So
Well, dude, he was already relevant. You can't say he's
He
just
was.
made himself relevant. He's part of the Bullet
he
Club.
was,
He's
but
been,
he never.
he's part of the Samoan
he
Dynasty.
never popped up in my Twitter feed until the last 3 weeks.
That's interesting.
So
You might have kind of had your eyes wide shut for a while on the
no,
New
for
Japan
sure,
front.
for sure, absolutely. But it's not like he was front and center like he is now.
Man, I get ragged on by my buddy at work. I call him Chad the Dad Too Bad, and he likes to come over to me and just make fun of me for only watching WWE because he's like fully ensconced right now in the New Japan G1 climate.
Oh yeah.
Climax, the whole big fucking round robin thing they have. Like, I wish I had time to get into this stuff because honestly, the wrestling is incredible.
It's so good.
And so he made some reference to Joey Ryan's show and everything that he's doing, the wrestling. And he came over to me and he's just like, ADC, Joey Ryan is actually an independent wrestler. He calls himself the King of Dong Style, and he has a gimmick. Let me explain it to you. Independent wrestling is a thing that happens away from the WWE. And I'm just like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I watch a lot of WWE. I don't watch a lot of New Japan. I'm sorry.
It's funny because our friend Ryan, he's been messaging me, not every day, but every couple days about watching the G1 and everything, and he's loving every second of it. He's
I've
subscribed
got
to.
I don't have New
Japan
Japan
stuff, so-
World, but it's definitely available online. I'm not going to mention the website, but there's
ways
easy
to-
resources
yeah,
for it. Speaking of independent wrestling, they also have the All In event coming up on September 1st, which
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm at a wedding that day, so I'm going to have to
You'll have
either
to catch
order
it
it and
later,
watch
but-
it again later, but that's disappointing to me.
I'm gonna watch it.
I know. I want to watch it too.
I'm interested. I'm certainly interested.
Oh, it
They've
looks
done
great.
Enough
You
for
see
me.
that they have like the over the budget battle royal, and the winner gets a shot at the
Yeah.
ROH title.
I like it. I like
It
it.
looked like some famous guys with that. I think Colt Cabana was in that one.
And you just know that I like those.
I don't know that for
people,
sure.
No. The people that are going to be there are going to go nuts for this thing because they're going to want to try and outshine the NXT crowds and the WWE crowds because it's on their home turf, and it's gonna be a fun show. It's gonna be loud.
Oh, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's going to be surprises.
We're going to see stuff you
abound.
don't see in WWE, and I think that's what this being broadcast is going to do. This is going to be, I think, pretty big for them.
Let's look at this here on the Pro Wrestling Sheet. We have over budget battle royal taking place. Current champ Jay Lethal tweeted about the match. We got 5 of 15 wrestlers. So 15 wrestlers are going to be in it.
Yeah.
5 confirmed so far. Moose, Rocky Romero, Ethan Page, Hamilton Boy, actually. I have a friend who knows Ethan Page. Maybe he should be on the show sometime. That'd be kind of fun.
Call them.
Jordan Grace and Colt Cabana, as I said before. So
10 more to be announced.
yeah, 10 more dudes.
Nice.
That's the math, right? Yeah.
15.
I'm just
They've
kidding.
already announced 5, so that leaves
That leaves 11 more, motherfucker. Hey, I wasn't going to bring this up, but did you hear that weird YouTube thing at the end of the show? It was like, don't defy YouTube. YouTube is your leader.
Yeah, the robot thing. So
What was that all about?
I
didn't do that.
Have
And Steve didn't do that. I talked to Steve about it.
You did talk to, and he didn't do it because he did the rest of it, right?
He didn't do it.
Interesting. So
I looked at him and he just had this glazed over look on his face. And normally when, I talk to him, he looks like that anyway because he's fucking checked out from life. He has no
Yeah.
idea. He's just like, what the hell are you talking about? Shit. I'm confused as hell. But it wasn't Steve.
So you've not spoken to YouTube at all since last week?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, well,
And not that I haven't wanted to. I mean, they're not accepting my phone call.
ADC, like, I understand.
You know what? I have a problem with this, guys. Okay, YouTube's not going to like this. I mean, I'm out here on this podcast talking about this in public, and it's kind of a personal matter. Okay, it's just going to piss YouTube off more.
Do you consider YouTube a friend of yours, or?
Yes, I do. And my children consider YouTube's children to be their friends.
You don't have any children.
It's not how I pictured it ending. I mean, it was always supposed to be us riding off into the sunset. The ADCs in the first name field and of wrestling in the surname field, with me proclaiming to the world the ADCs of wrestling.
Exclusively discussing wrestling geeks.
All right, that's it. Get out of here, Changard 1, okay? Let's talk about Raw.
All right.
What did you think?
We'll move on.
What did you think of the Paul Heyman interview, my friend?
Loved every second of it.
Was this... Okay, here's where I want to go with this. Was this good acting by any standard, or are we so conditioned to the barely passable performances that we see week in and week out that this just felt way better than it was?
It's hard to say, but I really enjoyed it. I thought Paul was...
I can't
He was
believe
in
the
it.
method acting that this guy
It was great.
went
Like,
through.
he was like, he didn't shave. His eyes were red. Like, his eyes were filled with
I don't
water
know. What
before
did
the
they
interview
do
started.
to his eyes?
I don't know.
He looks like he just poured salt in his eyes a la Steve-O before the show. And I don't mean Steve-O who tweets us all the time. I mean Steve-O, the guy from the Jackass show and stuff who like puts weird shit in his eyes.
You're going to need to work on that voice.
No, it's pretty good. It's exactly what he sounds like.
No, I don't know. I don't. Maybe
They
he
sound
spent.
like Doc Hendricks on a bad day.
Maybe Heyman is just that good, and he was able to get himself worked up enough to actually cry before they started filming it.
He had
and
a
just go from
single
there.
tear come down
It
his
was
eye.
amazing. Everything was amazing. Like, even the way he was looking off camera to talk to the crew, like everything about it was so perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything, like, take what I just did and make it good is what Paul Heyman did.
I mean, considering the rest of Raw was pretty trash, this was a nice.
It was not a good
spot.
week.
This was a nice bright spot in the middle. I don't know where it leads because all the speculation is that Paul will leave and screw Brock and go to someone else, whether it's Roman or whoever. But part of me is just like, no, this is just a work, guys.
Did you see like the WWE.com exclusive where they added like a second to the end of the interview, and instead of Paul Heyman being like, I've never seen him this violent, like Roman Reigns has no chance.
Yeah.
And then it goes, it says WWE exclusive at the bottom, and he just says, never mind. And he just like walks away.
Oh,
and then Renee
no, I
is
haven't
like,
seen that.
Renee's like, unless what, Paul? Unless what? And then she looks really sad, and it looks like a soap opera or something. But yeah, that's what they tried to pull on WWE.com.
That's interesting. I didn't see that at all. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was expecting more. I was like, here's a YouTube exclusive extended interview, and it's just Paul Heyman saying, unless.
I still fully believe that Brock is going to win at SummerSlam, and everyone's going to be very upset.
Yeah.
Especially now that the rumors are out that Vince and Brock have met, and Brock has told him that he wants to work at WWE and UFC at the same time.
You know what? Okay, here's the thing. I heard them. I can't take full credit for this because I heard this on the Masked Man show, which I do like to listen to sometimes, but I've tried not to lately because I don't want to color my own opinions by other people's opinions.
Yeah.
But they had a really interesting discussion about Brock Lesnar showing up on UFC as the WWE champion.
I was just going to say that.
This is not a good thing.
Oh, I don't know.
There's like a 1 in 10 chance that he wins this fight after being out for so long. You can't really, like, you don't want your champion to show up on TV and then get demolished.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look good. And then you've got all the other fans.
Wins.
You've got all the fans at home sitting there saying to you, like, you're mad at creative because creative is literally saying, no, the best thing we could possibly do is have our guy leave with the title, not knowing when he's going to come back and possibly lose at UFC rather than putting it on anybody else. Like, that's our best story that we could tell right now. That's the best we have.
Okay, so I still fully believe that he's going to win at SummerSlam and either lose it the next night, get cashed in on, even if it doesn't happen the next night, over the next couple weeks, whatever. And
Is he supposed to be on Raw after?
He is, yeah. He's booked for Raw after SummerSlam. So I hear what you're saying, and I totally get it. It would be extremely embarrassing to have your WWE champion lose a UFC fight.
It's not a good look, Matty.
But at the same time, everyone knows that UFC and WWE are different. I'm not going to say that one is real and one is not real.
You really think it's just like, goddamn, pal, just seeing the belt on UFC
But
is money.
Having him walk out into a UFC octagon with a WWE belt on his shoulder would be, I mean, marketing, sure, but it would be fucking hilarious.
I know.
It would be so funny. And then if he wins...
Imagine Paul
and he
Heyman's
has-
back there just crying with him.
But if he wins and he puts both belts over his shoulder, come on. That is money.
Yeah.
And I would be all in for that.
All right. You know,
I don't think it's going to
imagine
happen.
Paul
but that'd be
Heyman
amazing.
introducing him.
Yeah, he knocks
Hold
him-
on, Mr. Buffer.
Yeah, he knocks
I've got
Buffer out of the
something
way.
to say. The reigning, defending, fake fighting champion,
It'd be amazing.
Lesnar.
Paul Heyman really has to stop saying defending.
Yeah, he's not
defended
defending
it like
at all.
4 times.
Yeah. He's
Ridiculous.
defending his client.
enough.
What did you think of Ronda Rousey's Raw debut?
Okay, so I'm going to just get ahead of this a little bit. I saw a lot of hate online for this, saying that Ronda is too crazy. She's going to hurt someone, blah, 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 blah.
She was
shouldn't be
whipping
doing
Alicia Fox around pretty hard.
Here's the thing I have with this. So I'll just say now I loved it. I actually really enjoyed this match. Well, I didn't love it. I thought it went as good as possible. Ronda's trained at what she's doing. She's not whipping Fox around by her arm. She's using her hips and stuff. So all the people saying that she's dangerous and she's going to break her arm and blah, 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 you're all crazy.
Yeah, they're making it look that way.
They're
on
making
purpose.
it look that way. It's
That's the
literally
point.
called a hip toss because she tosses you with her hip. So
Is that officially a hip toss, though? That's more of like an arm takedown.
she's just watch it in slow mo. She's using her entire body. She pulls Fox close and uses her body to flip her over. Plain and simple.
I thought it
People
was
are
interesting
insane.
that in this whole segment, the person who seemed like they had it together the most was actually Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the segment, I'm watching Ronda perform, and I'm like, okay, all eyes are on her. And she was actually pretty much carrying the segment because
Absolutely.
I don't really care what the hell Natty's doing out there. Alexa Bliss, despite being good on the mic, had obviously a bit of an off day on Monday and is not that great in the ring. And then Alicia Fox, despite being solid in the ring, is absolutely horrendous on the microphone.
Did they just
I
have to fill
hate it.
time?
I don't
what was
know.
that 10-minute segment before
That-
the match?
That preamble was so unnecessary.
It was terrible.
And so cringeworthy. And I know I had a couple people tweet me back this week being like, man, why are you so hard on Foxy? Like, I like Foxy. Yes, she's great. Like, she's been around for a long time. That's cool. She came in as like the style assistant or whatever to Vicky Guerrero in the Edge storyline.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Your tenure means a lot. She's solid in the ring. She's fine. Her Northern Lights suplex is a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think she's good at her character. I think the way she does her character is bad. I think that it just screams everything about like a high school take on drama class.
Yeah.
And if I told her to just be crazy and do something annoying, I would stop and be like, no, do that again.
much,
I
yeah.
didn't enjoy that. Like that's changed the channel heat to me. It's go away heat. It's not funny to me. It's just like, I don't like it. And
It's too over the top, I think.
yeah, it is. And I'm just, I don't know. I so hate it. I don't like it.
Here's what I didn't like about the whole. I mean, obviously the whole like promo before the match. Like I said, I feel like they just needed to fill time, but they do this spot where they want to put Fox. I mean, they're putting Rousey in the main event, but to make it seem like it's bigger than it is, they give this great video package of her tenure and everything she's done over the last 10 years. But then they have her come out to Alexa Bliss's music. Like, I get that Bliss is the champ, but they're not partners. And
But they did a whole montage on Foxy?
yeah.
Wow, I
they
must have
did-
fast forwarded through that.
They
Holy
did
crap.
like a minute and a half video on like her career in 10 years and her being
Alicia
champion.
Fox, the foremost women's talent in the history of WWE.
So like if you're gonna do
This
that,
is awesome. Alicia Fox is back, Maggle.
how can you not let her come out to her own music? I don't get it. That part really bugged me.
Maybe because her own music is fucking
It's
trash.
terrible, sure.
And
And that's fine, but she's in the match. Alexa's not in the match. And they're not partners. It's not like Mickey James where they've been together for a long time. Unless that's what they want this to be.
I don't know.
But
I don't know what they want.
But
you know what it was? She's just somebody they gotta get reintroduced to the universe that haven't seen her in a while,
Well,
and
she was
who can
injured
get
for a
her
while
ass
too,
kicked
right?
by Ronda Rousey without it mattering because she's always been around and she's never gonna win a match, so it doesn't matter.
Other than that, Rousey looked great. I loved at the end when Alexa tried to attack her and she just tossed her, and then like you can see her mouth like, what are you thinking? Like I loved that.
You know who Foxy's kind of become like. Aside from the fact that she's small, but she's like the Big Show of the women's division. She's just always been around. They'll just bring her out for random things here and there. She's babyface or heel depending on the day.
Yep.
And it doesn't really matter if she wins or loses, and she's just always going to be there.
I look forward to the return of the Big Show.
Actually, maybe Natty's more the Big Show. Natty changes like allegiances all the time.
That's true. She's been heel face quite a bit.
And they always act like it's a big announcement. Like, well, you're taking on Natalya, the queen of the Hart Dynasty, who hasn't really won much lately, but she's around.
Well, I mean, she was champion right before she left SmackDown. So.
No, she totally was.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. They'll just like give her a run here and there, keep her happy.
Yeah.
She's always there.
Have you seen, just before we move on, have you seen, and I don't know if it's a spoiler, but there's, I think it's Corpus Christi. They've got a house show on a Saturday night, and they promoted that Rousey was there and used a picture of her holding the title.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
God.
and now the speculation is like, did they really just kind of fuck up
I don't
a
know.
little bit?
That's
or
why
is
wrestling's
it-
the best, because you never know what the hell.
Yeah. Well, and they can change their mind in an instant, right? But
God damn it.
yeah.
They showed him with a fucking title.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do not see a way for Alexa to win this unless Natty turns on.
We gotta change the booking, pal.
That's it.
Where the hell do we go from here? We're fucked now.
Well, you got 50%. Just change the idea.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
We'll just change the booking for Evolution is a pay-per-view.
How long you been waiting to get that in there?
I don't know. Now it's Triple H singing the song.
Well, it should be.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have to do a Lemmy, but just do Triple H voice. Maybe that'll be my Triple H parody.
Could you do a Steph voice since this is her show?
Yeah, no, I can't.
I'd like to hear you try next week.
I can't.
Nope. That was not it. Wow, that was terrible.
I can't do a woman's voice, Matt. I don't know what you expect from me.
That was close to your fire pants voice.
Burn it down.
Anyway,
Move on.
I felt like the one thing that was proven on this Raw with Rousey's debut, just to keep it there for a second, is just that like not all that Ronda touches is gold. This was not like a perfect segment by any means. It was really kind of clunky, and she does still need maybe better parts to work with. But that being said, like I said, she kind of rose above the people she was out there with, who've been there longer than her, so that's a good sign.
Way longer than her in most cases.
Let's turn our attention to SmackDown for a bit here before getting back to the
B show?
other shit that was on Raw. It's not the B show. Okay? Raw is the B show right now.
It really is. Wow.
Believe you me, Raw is the B. Well, Raw's the B show. You ready for something that's 3 hours long?
Have I told you yet today?
That you hate me? No. You should probably get it in, though.
Maybe I'll hold on to that for a second.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Why don't you hold on to these nuts?
Okay, I hate you.
Why don't you
There it
cocaine
is.
to clutch these nuts,
You
Samoa
went,
Joe?
you went 4 seconds, and I had to bring it out.
Charlotte and Becky Lynch both agreed that they're going to be best friends. They're going to get along despite being in a triple threat at SummerSlam because, well, they're not Sasha Banks and Bayley.
That was not a bad little shot.
That was a
I
great
liked
little
it.
line.
Yeah. But, I mean, this
We're
could
not
be...
Sasha Banks and Bayley.
Wow, your Becky voice is better than your Steph
Teacups.
voice.
That's just an Irish accent with laughter.
I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know.
I don't know
I
either.
have so many
I
different
like
theories and different fantasy bookings that I want for this, but I think we have something in just 2 tweets for this. So maybe I'll save it.
We definitely do. I'm very into this right now. I think it's
like
a perfect time to bring Charlotte back. It definitely adds intrigue. Like I said last week, how fucking excited could you be for Becky Lynch taking on Carmella? Without,
of course.
Yeah,
of course. I think, and it's funny because there's another title picture we'll talk about in a minute where it seems like the side story is way more entertaining and important than the actual championship story.
It's great.
So,
It's what's going on the outside is more important.
Yeah, like there's no way Carmella can hang on to this belt any longer. She's shown her max kind of potential.
We've plateaued with Carmella.
Yeah.
We've definitely plateaued. Plateaud is, I think, how you spell it.
You really didn't workshop that first, did you?
No, it just came to me. I'm so
I think you
brilliant.
were close. I think you were
I'm
close.
super brilliant. Things just come to my mind like out of nowhere. I'm just like
so fantastic.
I'm such a generational talent.
Oh boy. Okay, relax.
Plateau. Oh, I missed an E in there. PLATEAUED.
Now it sounds worse.
It all sounds bad.
Yeah.
Everything
Anyways.
sounds bad.
I
By the way,
like
speaking
this.
of if our techs, voices or anything sound a little different this week, we got a little extra tech.
Yeah.
in the
We're
equation.
adding to the podcast a little bit here.
So
Little bits at a time.
This is kind of a maiden voyage for
Yeah.
my little audio interface here.
Yeah, it's cool. Well,
Yeah.
don't pet it. It's weird.
No. Don't tap the focus right.
Yeah, no, I'm totally in for this Becky Charlotte
I think it's great.
feud, partnership, whatever it is. I just
agree.
like that
Let's
they're
be
back.
friends, teacups.
Yeah. No, I'm not
not
touching
gonna
you.
do teacups.
No, you're just doing too sweet there.
I was actually.
Yeah.
I had a teacup.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
better.
Anyway, this needs to be a video podcast sooner than later.
Ugh.
Daniel Bryan.
You can't do video with those stupid headphones.
No, you son of a bitch. You're digging. You're just. You're cutting deep. I got new headphones
Sorry.
because I wanted to do video content for the show, and I don't like the way they look, but they're good for the price, and now I'm self-conscious about it.
I think they look fine.
Shut up, Matt. You
Anyways.
stupid Mark.
Anyways.
Daniel Bryan attacked The Miz on set.
So
Doing
cool.
little floaty quoties there.
I liked it.
This is great.
He found him. He said he'd find him, and he found him.
It was really hard to find Miz
Yeah.
on set backstage in the arena.
Face to face.
In front of like a couple posters to make it look like he's in Los Angeles somewhere.
It was funny because they said earlier in the show that he was on set for Miz and Mrs. And then right before they were going to do the interview, Byron got up, and I was like, is he literally just going to go to the back and like totally blow this whole thing? Then they came back from
They're going to blow
commercial,
this
yeah.
plot hole wide open. Did Daniel Bryan attack The Miz in Speedo and a t-shirt, or did he have jeans on?
I don't remember.
Because if he's wearing a Speedo, that's hilarious. That we were supposed to believe that he was like
He's just on
set
he's in public in his
in
gear
underpants and a t-shirt. And who wears their wrestling t-shirt
outside
of work?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know if he was wearing his gear or if he was
I think
in
he would have had
jeans.
jeans on. I think he had jeans on.
Maybe.
I enjoy them kind of taking this
That's a
up
funny thought, though.
to another level and
Yeah.
having him get assaulted with the flower vase.
I love that.
Thought that was nice. That was a
Yeah.
lot more serious than when Chris Jericho attacked Dean Ambrose with Mitch.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
potted plant.
Yeah. Or was it Dean that hit? I forget. A potted plant was at play.
It was Dean's
There was a
plant
potted plant at play. What?
on the Asylum show that he had, and it was his
They had
one
the-
like
Yeah,
decoration.
It was Mitch.
Yeah.
I got like this guy here. This is Mitch, my plant.
Yeah.
And shit.
Yeah, no, I really like this. I kind of hope they
It was
don't have
Jericho
like
that hit him.
a full match. I kind of hope they don't have a full match at SummerSlam. I want this to go so much longer. I was
Yeah.
hoping they wouldn't come together yet, but they did it well, so I can't I actually enjoyed it, so I can't really.
They kind of just flipped it on like a light switch though.
Yeah, and
Like
I
they
don't
let
like
it
that-
linger for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now Daniel Bryan has decided that he's pissed off at The Miz, despite being able and cleared to wrestle since WrestleMania.
Well, and not even that. It's just like last week, Miz was like, "No, I'm not giving you a match," and then this week, without any.
No, I'm not giving you a match. By the way, next week you're getting a match
Yeah,
at
like-
SummerSlam. It's going to be awesome.
There was nothing for him to just all of a sudden change his mind other than wanting to help Daniel be relevant. I didn't understand that. I'm a little disappointed they're going to fight already, but hopefully it goes longer.
This segment sent my OCD about menswear just careening off a cliff.
Oh, God.
Did you see Saxton's shirt and tie combination?
I did
What
not.
the hell is he doing?
I do not pay attention to that kind of stuff.
It's just look back at it. The best response I had, somebody tweeted me, I think it was Raider Max. He was like, I didn't know you could get motion sickness by looking at a shirt.
Maybe I'll go back and look. And take a
It's
look.
just the worst. Like this guy is, he most of the time he wears a tie and a pocket square that literally match.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to match. They're supposed to complement each other. Saxton.
Jesus.
I don't know why it bothers me so much. I don't even dress that well. I hate when I see that shirt and that tie together. It makes me angry. Also, what the hell was going on with the color of Mrs. lapel and the collar at the back of his shirt?
Again, don't notice these type of things.
How could you not notice? His suit was like gray or whatever, or bluish gray, and then his lapel stopped here, and then the collar around the back had checkers on it.
Well,
the collar.
Yeah, but he's a fancy ass bitch. So
I know,
maybe
but it
that's
just was ridiculous looking, and it was very distracting.
We literally have.
All I could see looking at his jacket was the stupid checks on the back of his shirt. It was awful.
We literally have a Canadian icon on TV every Saturday night wearing ridiculous suits, and you're worrying about this.
He's a good Canadian kid, though.
I don't
Like-
buy into the whole Don Cherry thing. I don't care about Don Cherry's
No, I'm just saying, like, who cares?
hot takes. Plus, Don Cherry said a couple things last year that now make me think that he's out of
Old
touch.
and senile and out of
Yeah,
touch.
yeah. AJ's retaliation. I love this. This is a
Great.
good old-fashioned title feud. This is promos, personal problems.
Yes. And you know what I like about it? They're not coming to blows.
No,
Like, they're
it's just
doing these promos
Two
on their
guys
own.
coming out week after week just shit talking each other. You're like, Samoa Joe, you're not even walking out of SummerSlam at all.
This is why-
the house that AJ Styles built.
This is why SmackDown is just so much better. They're doing things different. They're not doing the same thing every week over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
This was great. It was a great 2-3 minute promo. Matches Joe's promo from last week. Even just the cut to Joe watching at an awesome angle of a TV and just laughing. Like, this stuff is so good. This is the first feud with AJ.
It's so ridiculously simple, and it sounds weird to be so excited about it, but I just don't feel like we get it that often. Like, I know we do get it, but we don't often get it where it just has that feel where these two guys have built-in history together.
Yeah.
And there's a personal issue at play. Like, yeah, Randy Orton's coming out and cutting promos on Jeff Hardy, but it's pretty derivative of other storylines. And it's like something they clearly just concocted for Randy to be like, okay, well, what if now like you're pissed off because you've been here for a long time? And then Jeff is like, what if you're sad that you lost the title? That's fine. That's really basic. But just to have like a thing where one guy insulted the other guy's family and then the other guy comes out, it's good. It's happening in the Daniel Bryan and the Miz thing as well, which is why we like it so much. But they're doing it in a different way. They're not doing it quite as classic like Florida Championship Wrestling, Mid-South style, where guys just come out and just cut a promo on the other guy, and then they sell the house to people to show up live and see it. But I don't know. I just love it. This is what I like about wrestling. I like my wrestling pretty serious, and I like it with real personal pride at stake and just.
And I think this is
a blood feud. It's more than the title.
And I think this was what I was kind of feeling and hoping for the Miz and Daniel Bryan, is that I didn't want them to come to blows. I didn't really want them to get in the ring together, like cutting their promos, even if they're far like one's on the screen and one's in the ring. That's fine, but I don't know. It just seems so simple that last week Samoa Joe cuts a promo without AJ. This week AJ cuts a promo without Samoa Joe, and it's just. I feel like it's advanced the storyline way more than what we ever saw with Shinsuke.
So quick and dirty, but I like it.
It's so good.
Man, we're already at like 40 minutes plus.
We're getting through it.
We have like a lot more to talk about, but let's be quick. Let's be quick. Aiden English screws up again.
Didn't see it coming. I totally thought they were cool.
Oh yeah, I thought
everything was fine.
Hey, then everything's fine. Why don't you just stay back here? Don't come out. I trust you. I know you won't come out. I'll go out there, Lana will match guys, Alina Vega, and you will just sit back here. Everything's going to be good. We're good brothers. I know it's going to be fine.
Anyway, I'd love to be in the room when they're just trying to figure out like a new way to ruin a match like this, and then they all just settle on, why don't we just do the same shit?
I know. I literally just said this is the nice thing about SmackDown. They don't keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then there's Rusev and Aiden. And
there's always room for the classic tag team implosion.
Yeah, I do feel like this makes more sense in terms of the actual storyline.
So what's like a new great way that he could come in? What if like Lana's in trouble and then he runs down and tries to help and then she falls over and loses?
But this time,
did we do that last week? Yeah.
But this time, Lana and Rusev were in trouble. So they needed Aiden. And I love that. I actually really liked the spot. It's just unfortunate that Lana was too far up the ropes and they just kind of like clipped her foot.
Yeah.
And then she just tumbled over.
I'm going to tap your toe, Lana. Now you do a most wonderful front flip.
I will say,
I've made you lose again.
so after the podcast last week, you were talking about Lana and that you actually thought she'd come a long way.
She looked better, right?
I went back and I watched and then considered watching it this week as well. I almost felt like she controlled that match.
She did a good
Like
job.
she looked like she was running the show in there. She actually looks way better.
I'm not going to go so far as to call her like a Russian ring
No.
general.
Okay, no. I'm just saying compared to what we saw even a year ago.
Yeah.
It's yeah, you forced me to go back and watch and I admit I was wrong. You were right.
You've been ravished by the Russian Lana.
Nope. You convinced me.
Whom no longer has an accent. And I think it's a good thing.
I'm okay with it.
It's the evolution.
Change the characters.
Yeah, she
up,
Kofi'd.
I'm okay with
She
it.
Kofi'd
Yeah,
hard.
exactly.
Perfect segue. The New Day are going to SummerSlam.
What a friggin' match!
Oh, who would have thought that I was going to segue that well? Who?
Anyways, yeah, what a match.
I love the finish on this match.
Big E is unbelievable.
Upper body strength.
So, like, he was in the
And
sharpshooter
legs.
for how long?
He's got big legs.
And then he was in what was he in there? The crossface?
Yeah. Well, I mean, those are technically rest spots.
Sure.
He was charging up.
Sure, but even...
He was ready to Hulk out, brother. He was just getting ready. I'm going to come back. I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. I'm going to get up, and I'm going to run wild on you.
Probably bad timing to actually do a Hulk Hogan
Yeah,
impression.
yeah.
Because I don't think Big E's
Yeah,
super thrilled
no.
with Hogan.
Anyways, I don't know. The end of that match was awesome. It was booked so well for
I love
those guys.
The whole thing was awesome.
Yeah, to pick him up, like I just from a submission and just right into the finisher was brilliant.
We've definitely seen them in a lot of title shots and stuff recently. I don't know if it makes sense for them to have this
Has it been that
spot
recent,
here.
though?
No, not like recently, but within the last year. They've had their fair share of opportunities.
They were gone for a while, though. I think the only reason, and maybe I have to go back and check my history, but I feel like the only reason we feel like, oh, okay, well, New Day's in the title picture again, is because they've been so good for the last, 4 months.
Yeah.
But before that, if you remember, we were like, okay, I'm over this. I'm done with the pancakes. I'm done with the bootios.
Mm-hmm.
But they somehow have brought it back. And I think it's because they've had unreal matches with, the Usos.
Yeah. Well, with anybody, really.
Yeah.
I feel like this works because I don't really recall getting too much closure after the Bludgeon Brothers just demolished them and, smoked Xavier
nothing.
Woods on the
Yeah.
ring steps and stuff like that pre-WrestleMania. Obviously, the Usos have that same claim because after that they were doing the whole mixed tag thing against the Bludgeon Brothers. But I don't know. I think this will be good, and I think that you've got some really strong baby faces going up against some heels that nobody really cares too much about.
Yeah,
did you see that Bludgeon Brothers squash match?
I did.
I was watching the actual feed, and I'm pretty sure on the Titantron before the match, they showed these hilarious jobbers getting all hyped up. I actually recorded the video for you, Matt. Nobody at home can watch, but this was the play, please. There we go. This is what they were doing backstage. They were just
oh my God.
They were getting all kinds of jacked up before the match. It's the three of them in gorilla, just slapping each other in the chest, getting super into their resistance bands.
Did not see this. This is awesome.
Getting really hyped up, and the Bludgeon Brothers were just kind of watching it and looking back and forth at each other like,
what the hell?
what are these idiots doing?
It's so long.
It's very long.
Oh my God.
They're chanting
You should
something.
tweet this out. You should tweet this out.
I don't know if I'm supposed to, tweet out this because it
you
wasn't
took-
on the air.
yeah,
But the
yeah.
Bludgeon Brothers, you can see them
They're just
watching it.
what
They're
the hell
what
is
are
this?"
these idiots doing?
That's awesome. Oh, a little behind the scenes there. That's cool.
Bludgeon Brothers.
That's actually pretty funny. So no, I
Did
didn't
the
see
Bludgeon
that.
Brothers whip their ass?
They
Yes,
did.
Steve, the Bludgeon Brothers whipped the three jobbers. Yeah, you worked in the wrestling business, right? You know what happens when jobbers wrestle.
I know what happens when you smart off like that, you piece of crap. I'll drop you on that stack of dubs you call the neck, and that's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so. Pass me a beer.
I'm not passing you a beer.
Well, shit.
You
Wow,
can always
he gave
come
up
upstairs.
real quick. He gave up real quick there. Well, shit.
I have steps to the fridge. You can come
he
up
could
here.
come up. He could come up.
By the way, there's rumblings that he wants to become a producer on the show. He wants to sit in
If that's
and produce the show.
oh, you're talking about our show.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about in real life.
No.
and,
On the ADCs of wrestling,
All
he got a little bit of taste of producing his own
No.
stuff with Between Two Beers.
not let him.
Which I would love to hear more of.
Don't let him.
And he would like to sit here and just chime in occasionally.
Don't let him do
I
it.
don't know.
Don't let him do
That
it.
might be kind of nice. He wouldn't have to yell upstairs all the time. No, you're right. He would
Don't
fuck,
let him
he would
do
fuck
it.
everything.
Yeah,
up.
don't let him
He
do
would
it.
destroy. He'd spill beer all over the mixing board.
Forget to press record.
Yeah, we'd be done, and I'd be like, "Did you press record, Steve?" He'd be like, "What? What?" I'd be like, "You pressed the button, the big red circle." What? What? But
Wow.
he's like a seal now. But
Yeah. Did you know what and I'm going to go back to kind of SmackDown being awesome in this sense. Bludgeon Brothers had cut a pretty great promo for them.
I didn't even listen at this point.
It was pretty good. But at the end of it, they kind of came down for like to sit and watch, I guess. I don't know where they were.
They're
the
just
entire
weird.
match. But I really enjoyed at the end when New Day was celebrating and Bludgeon Brothers were standing kind of like in the crowd, like in an aisle, just about to leave. I like that shot. It's one of those things where it's like, again, it's something so simple, but SmackDown's trying to do things a little bit different. It's those little things that I just really enjoy about SmackDown.
They're never on TV. Like the fact that they were actually on the show this week, I was like, oh yeah, those are the tag champs.
Yeah. It's kind of I hope New Day wins this just so that there's some relevance brought back to the division, but who knows?
Then they can say five-time
Tag
tag team champs.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is watching people just try to mouth along to that and not knowing. It's always like, you're world famous champs and feel the power.
Why? Although, you know what I didn't notice until this week, and I don't know when it happened, they stopped putting up the stupid graphics.
Oh, that's been going for a long time.
It's been a while now that I think about it.
That sort of it teetered out, and then they went to just the big blotchy, ugly name font before the selfie promos, and they've pretty much stopped
those are gone
too.
too.
So,
thank God.
Thank God. And speaking of championships, does it feel weird to you that Jeff Hardy's facing Nakamura and not Randy Orton?
Yep. So this was the same thing I said about Becky and Charlotte, right? The Carmella Becky thing.
It's like something else more interesting is happening on the outside.
I almost forgot that Hardy was actually facing Nakamura for the belt, which makes...
There's like no way that Randy Orton doesn't ruin this for Jeff, right?
Of course. Or somehow get in the match, whatever it is. But I just... It's kind of sucks because it makes Nakamura feel irrelevant.
It does make him feel a little irrelevant. Yeah. What do you think of this? What if Randy Orton were to come in the middle of this match and then just to like fuck with people and add some intrigue, he like RKO's Nakamura when the referee's not looking, and Jeff Hardy pins the title, and then Randy Orton just kind of like stares at him. And you're like, what the hell was that about?
Yeah. Well,
what's his problem with Nakamura? Nakamura's a new guy too, though, that showed up.
Yeah. And considering that like it's the Hardy Orton match has already been basically booked for Hell in a Cell, maybe that's his way of getting in the title picture.
Maybe. I don't know. There's also rumor abound of Nakamura's time in WWE coming up and him maybe going back to New Japan, which would not surprise me because they've certainly underutilized him since coming up to the main roster.
There were a bunch of rumors, but Meltzer came out and basically just said, no, like, everyone just relax. It's not going to happen.
Oh.
So we'll see. I think it's
can't
January.
take his word as gospel, but I could see him wanting to stick around as well.
Yeah. Well,
maybe he's happy. I mean, I'm sure he has, like, he's definitely creating friendships and relationships here, so I'm sure he's enjoying himself. And I mean, maybe he's super happy being the U.S. champ.
And he's been in the main...
And wrestling, R-Truth.
Yeah, and he's been getting to... Hey, R-Truth friggin' killed it this week again.
He was hilarious.
He was amazing. Like, to get into SummerSlam, all you got to do is pin Carmella.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Maybe that's how Randy Orton will get to SummerSlam. They'll just pin Carmella.
So good.
Next week, Carmella's out. Randy Orton comes out of nowhere. Huge RKO. Pins Carmella. Get over here. Count 1, 2, 3. The Viper's going to SummerSlam. Jeff Hardy.
I don't know. R-Truth has been good on the mic, other than I still don't like his The
Carmella killer.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. Nakamura, it sucks. I don't think he's going anywhere personally because I just feel like he's probably going to make more money in WWE.
RKO out of nowhere to you.
I should have saved my I hate you for this moment right here.
You like how sometimes you'll start like trying to legitimately analyze things and I'll just wait for you to finish. And then I'll do the comedy I was thinking of. And I'm just like, Matt, you realize this is a show about wrestling dicks, right? And like, I'm just here to have a good time. And you're trying to get all like really philosophical and you're trying to appease the people who want real info. Meanwhile, I just want to sing RKO out of nowhere to Carmella's theme song in a terrible Randy Orton impression.
We don't have real info. I just want to make people think about their own opinions because they'll likely disagree with most of what I have to say.
We have shinfo out of nowhere.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to go back to Raw for a second?
Let's go back to Raw for a few other things happened. Strowman tips the stage in An awful segment. I'll
Why
be
did
honest.
it
This
was
was terrible.
terrible. And why did it take him 3 tries to tip the stage? Because everything, you knew it was him.
He's telling me, why did they reinforce the stage? I'm pushing so hard.
After the first one, okay, I get it. Oh, there's something under the stage. Okay, we know.
All right, now I've heard my vocal cue. Got my legs cocked in an athletic position. Now I'm just gonna put. Right, hold on. That didn't. Now I'm just gonna put. I'm just gonna put. Stall.
They're killing Braun for me right now.
This was, yeah.
They keep trying to find ways to make him big and destroy something.
I feel like
this one was bad.
He kind of like, when he won the briefcase at that time back in like June, I almost felt like that's around the time that he needed to have maybe won a title.
That was it.
Because
he should have cashed in right away to stay relevant. Because right now
I was saying this a while ago after like the whole Roman feud and everything that he was kind of, chilling out. But he came back. But like, the same way I said with the Ronda segment that we can realize at this point that like not everything she touches is gold.
Sure.
Not every Braun Strowman segment is getting over now the way it used to as well. And partially that has to do with the fact that he's in there, losing matches to Jinder Mahal. He's in like a weird, strange feud over the briefcase for a title that like it doesn't really feel like it's going anywhere with the briefcase until the title's gone from Brock.
Chasing Kevin around is over and done with. They got to stop that. Like the first time Kevin tried to steal the briefcase, it was funny because Brock was in town and he didn't want him to cash in. But doing it again the next week, like, come on. This is just Raw just not having any creative bone in their body at all.
And then just like accidentally hitting Jinder Mahal with the briefcase. I told you this Jinder Mahal thing was just going to continue on, didn't I? I was like, this is going to go right to SummerSlam.
But it's just dumb and they can't, But, and it's funny.
Are you trying to say that you are finished with this?
I'm not finished with Strowman and KO because I think there were better ways they could have done this. And the match actually has like a legitimate outcome that could, I don't know, define the title.
It has title implications. So like it should feel better than it does.
Yeah, and I was excited for it. I mean, I still think the whole idea of Kevin just being like, I want a shot at the briefcase is stupid.
But I just feel like the whole tipping stage and the losing via disqualification was met with like a resounding fart sound.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it.
No, I didn't really like it either.
Hopefully their match is good.
Yeah.
Because like KO can take a beating.
I feel like we're going to say this, and Braun, since, we know he listens to the show because he likes to come out every day and say, let's go. I think that's
totally where he got it from.
Yeah, he got it from us, by the way. I think you're going to get out there, and he's going to be like, I hope you have insurance, because there's your car. It's going to be flipped over at the end of my driveway. I'm just glad that he doesn't run through my house anymore, just destroying drywall.
That was cool.
Yeah. I would insert one of those skits right now, but I don't feel like editing that much today. So let's move on to Rollins and Ziggler and McIntyre, who faced each other again.
Again, too much.
It's too much
of the same thing.
They're still like they've got to find a way to do something else other than just like, I'm going out there and I can't beat you guys, and that's it. But Michael Cole may as well have slapped us in the face with Dean Ambrose's fucking head, because he's just like, I tell you who's not going to team with Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, who was his tag champ partner, who's been off TV for a year, and I'm only bringing up now because he's clearly about to come back.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of rumors that it's going to be Dean that comes in to save the day.
There's no coincidence at all to just dropping Dean's name when Seth needs a tag partner, and then, have the whole Roman thing go on. By the way, let's all pray that we do get CrossFit Breezes in the Go Home show, because Seth needs a partner.
Yeah, I like that. That was fun.
And the Fashion Popo without Fandango are suffering.
Yeah. So here's the thing that bugs me a little bit, and it's going with Strowman and KO there a little bit. SummerSlam feels a little boring, right? Can we just say that?
Yeah, there's no like real hot match going in aside from like the AJ Samoa Joe and the Daniel Bryan. Like the SmackDown stuff I'm interested in because there's actual feuds to it.
Sure. Here's the thing is that there's like 4 or 5 matches on SummerSlam that we literally just saw on Extreme Rules a month ago.
Yeah.
So they've taken the story had the match, and then continued the story for another match.
But they warmed them up for us. They got them all heated up for SummerSlam, Matty.
Sure, but that's not what happened, because now we're just bored of it, right? And Dolph and Seth fall right into this.
It's the Raw side. The Raw side has been poorly executed.
Well, but we've got Shinsuke and Hardy. At least at Extreme Rules, fresh. Shinsuke won it instantly with a low blow, so that was cool. It was different.
That stuff's fresh because they took a little detour. They've done the Randy Orton stuff. They've added some intrigue. The Seth Rollins and McIntyre, and as much as I love this Ziggler-McIntyre thing, it's the same thing. It's become white noise to me.
And
it's these guys come out and wrestle, and it's
already?
just like, yeah, he totally did.
Right?
And it's like, it's the same. They come out, they wrestle, Seth gets outnumbered, and then he loses. And I'm like, well, I could probably fast forward a half an hour. I know what's happening on Raw right now. Seth's going to get overpowered by these two guys, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know.
It bugs me a little bit. And then like Finn Balor and Baron Corbin are now going to wrestle at SummerSlam with no implications, nothing involved, which was the exact same thing we just saw at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know. It just
I've somewhat enjoyed Constable Corbin, or Constable Corman, as Kurt Angle has called him recently.
Monstable Mark.
Constable Corman. What I got to say about Corbin, though, is like the suit attire thing. That's becoming a little weird to me.
Really,
like,
I like
nobody grows up dreaming of being a WWE superstar who's stuck in office casual attire at all times.
Wrestling in a button-down collared shirt.
I want to get older, and I want to get in the ring. I want to wrestle little wrestlers in their cool Speedos, and I want to look like a big famous athlete. But I want to wear like dress pants and a waistcoat. That's my thing.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you. I actually like this. It's different. It's different.
I enjoy his promo style for what it's worth, and I enjoy this kind of character because he seems like a really shitty, like, suck-up yes man.
Yeah.
But he also seems like a little dangerous because he is a big enough guy to be intimidating.
Yeah.
He's not quite on the intimidation level of, like, a corporate Kane. He's a bit more of a stooge.
Yeah.
Because he does keep losing matches to little guys and then talking about how they're little. But
yeah.
I just feel like, in like 5 years, he's going to look back and be like, man, my entire run, I was like stuck in a fucking vest and a dress shirt. And I don't even look like a wrestler.
I still like this better than what he was doing before with the long hair and the wolf and stuff.
It's better than the long hair. Yeah. That's for damn sure.
But anyways, I had to bring that up about
the B team. We got to talk about the B team. Their awful new theme.
B team. Go, go, go.
What in the fuck were they thinking?
Careful what you wish for, Matty.
So
I've spent the last 2 months talking about their stupid music.
Yeah, full disclosure, the music seemed too serious and whatever.
Bring back Battle Scars.
But this was too far the other way. Way too far.
They went way to the other side of the spectrum.
Like pounding the chest to try and get the crowd singing with them. It's too much. You went way too far. Way too far.
Wait till you hear the intro to next week's pod because I've changed the lyrics. It's now
ADC, dub, dub, dub. ADC.
I've been doing like way too much singing on this week's podcast. This is like where I've jumped the shark. See, what's happened here is I've gotten bored of just talking about wrestling because wrestling is suck, and I've started to become as annoying as possible in an effort to turn off the foundation, and I think it's working. I also realized that we have just hit an hour, and we should really get to just 2 tweets very soon.
I used my I hate you way too early in this episode.
Yeah, you played that card way too early. You've got no fucks left to give, unfortunately. Ruby Riott returned, by the way. That's pretty awesome.
Great return.
Why the hell is the schoolboy pin the world's strongest maneuver once somebody's become distracted? I don't understand. That maneuver is like a 101% effective rate. If you're looking the other way, you get schoolboyed, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Even after Steve Austin broke his neck and Owen Hart got distracted taunting the crowd at SummerSlam 1997, the world's worst schoolboy somehow pinned Owen Hart to a 3 count.
Yeah.
Austin got the Intercontinental Championship out of it, even though I could barely wrap his ass up.
That's been posted on Twitter a lot lately.
That schoolboy rabbi shit.
And that was
I got hit in the head.
That was a scary moment. Like when you actually go back and watch that again, knowing what happened.
I'm talking about me, ADC.
Terrifying.
I got hit in the head.
Yeah, I understand.
So that's why I couldn't get my sentence out.
I'm ignoring you.
I'm talking over you right now. This is great audio. This is great audio.
Anyways, I thought it was a great return for Ruby. I actually thought she was going to be out way longer than this.
No, it was cool.
It was cool. And then Sasha and Bayley, just whatever.
She's back to take her spot as the queen of the jobbers.
Yeah. I don't know where this division's going, and I see nothing for Becky for Sasha and Bayley.
No, they're not even in my lineup this week. I have nothing to talk about.
Maybe a kickoff show.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know. We're going to get a
That's it.
match.
Move
We'll
on.
probably get like Ruby and one of the others a la New Day
For what?
against Sasha and Bailey.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they'll just wrestle forever.
We'll see.
Also, Elias and Bob the bodybuilder really lit the world on fire again on Monday night.
Elias is great. I'm good without Bob.
I was ever so slightly in on Bobby Lashley after Extreme Rules.
Beating Roman.
It's totally
yeah.
gone now.
Gone instantly.
This
They
match won't be
screwed
good.
It over. No.
It won't be good.
Is it? Do they have one at SummerSlam? I don't think
They're going to.
I don't know. I don't think they've.
SummerSlam's going to be
announced one, unless I missed
17
it.
hours long.
It's gonna
They're
be so
going to
long.
have a match.
Yeah, maybe. I just don't care. Elias's like promo before Bobby came out was awesome.
Yeah.
Everything after that was meh.
I like how he had like, he's like, why don't you walk around me while I'm singing,
Yeah.
walk around me while I sing. Meanwhile, that whole shot would just be him talking to them. He's not actually singing. He's telling them what to do. So that
Go
shot
over here.
is
You
ruined.
can see my fingers. That's
Yeah.
where the magic is.
That shot is ruined.
Yeah. It was good.
I really, 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 really can't stand the way Michael Cole's character flips for the Elias segments. It's
Yeah.
the most obnoxious thing in the world.
Yeah.
I get that they're trying to play up how much Corey Graves hates Elias, which is funny, and therein lies the problem that Corey Graves is normally the heel sympathizer,
Yeah.
but he hates Elias. But to have Michael Cole just go the other way and be so like obnoxiously in love with Elias to jab at Corey Graves is
Yeah.
like, I just hate it. I really hate it. I'm just like, Cole, shut up. It's
But
so
you know what?
out of character. It's so off-brand for
Cole
Michael
has-
Cole to love Elias so much, despite the fact that Elias is like a sniveling little
Yeah.
ungrateful, cocky jerk.
But Cole has so many of that cringeworthy crap throughout the entire show. Like "Ah, it's
Cringeworthy
boss
crap
time.
is a perfect way to
Here
sum
comes
up.
the big dog.
But you
Like,
know
he's just-
who's the one that's making him do all that stuff?
Well,
Right here, pal.
yeah. Still,
That's the voice of me. Ha ha! God damn, I love how much he loves Elias.
I don't know. I wish maybe sometimes Vince remembered that he's on every week and doesn't need to do the same thing over and 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 over. And over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Vince is still like sitting in Gorilla for every episode of Raw,
Well,
but
apparently he missed one last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was a big deal because he never misses an episode and he's always back there. Apparently he takes like 1 week of vacation a year.
so he is still doing it that much.
Yeah.
He's not on SmackDown though. I know that.
No.
Okay.
Well,
Want to
maybe
do
he is.
just 2 tweets?
Let's do it.
The following segment was paid for by the ADCs of wrestling.
Hey yo, this is just 2 tweets.
Two tweets.
All right, 2 tweet me, bro. Let's do this. By the way, shout out to Eddie Kogozinski last week.
Yeah, man.
He said, I guess 20 weeks of consistently entertaining pods warrants a review, and he posted a screenshot of a very kind review he left on, I think it was Apple Podcasts, for the ADCs of wrestling. And you know what?
Thanks,
Props to you, man.
At least-
we take that stuff very seriously. We love it. And if you guys do the same thing, post a screenshot, tweet us, you're going to get a shout out too on the pod. Thanks for being a loyal member of the foundation.
At least we know he has like a 20 episode limit before he's like, you know what? I think I'm into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's got discerning tastes. He's very, very high standards.
Yeah.
20 episodes, consistent content, then I'm in.
Has it been consistent? That's the question. I mean, we missed
It's
a lot of
consistently
June.
it's consistently an okay show.
I'll give it an okay show.
No, but it seems like the user base is growing. We had some new
Yeah.
people tweeting us this week.
Which was cool. Always cool.
First, I got a tweet from just me at UNLVSAC. He just said FML hashtag armcocks for life. Hashtag just 2 tweets, which would be referencing my disdain for Roman Reigns and the arm cocking.
Well, I mean, we're assuming. Maybe that means something else.
Well, hopefully it doesn't, but who knows with my name and its weird connotations, strange connotative values.
ADCs of wrestling cocks.
As soon as I start making merch, there's guaranteed a hashtag armcocks shirt
Yeah,
with
there
just
has
like
to be.
a hand on a wrist. And people are going to be like, what is that? What are you
don't want
wearing?
that shirt. I don't want it.
What collection is that from? Our boy Steve-O. By the way, this week, like I said on the top of the show, we had to pare down. So I tried to pick some of the cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop, yeah. The best tweets of the week. Ooh, yeah, dig it. These tweets, yeah.
So Steve-O, our boy at Epic Steve-O Time, says, so my just 2 tweets for next week, this was last week, obviously, is wanting to hear Basement Steve's reasons for loving the Bludgeon Bros so much. I'm a huge Harper fan, but this gimmick is trash. I'm calling you out, Basement Steve. Hashtag shots fired. Hashtag Steve-O versus Basement Steve. Hashtag what? Steve, do you have a response?
What?
I said, do you have a response?
Oh, hell yeah. The Bludgeon Brothers, I think I've been pretty clear that I like those motherfuckers because they got hammers.
That's true. The whole
do
thing
have
was
hammers.
just they have hammers, right?
Yeah. They're pretty
that's what he said.
legit as well.
Yeah.
You're damn right they're legit. They swing their hammer. Bludgeon Brothers are the shit. What? I love their hammers. Bludgeon Brothers, get the fuck out of the way. Oh, God, he's doing it again. I love it. They Bludgeon Brothers are the shit. What? They're fucking badass because they got hammers. And if you want Steve, Basement Steve-O, or what the fuck you ever calling yourself, I'll kick your ass too. You're a piece of crap, and that's the bottom line. And now I'm going to go to the fridge and help myself to one of those goddamn beers because I finally got my ass up the steps. All right, peace out.
Well, this is my life. This is what I live with.
He got very aggressive.
He's a very animated guy.
He did not like being called out.
No, he didn't at all.
Better watch yourself, Steve-O. Just saying.
No.
Just saying.
He's crazy.
Hey, toss me this beer.
What?
Fucking catch this beer.
Jesus.
And now toss me the beer.
You already had the beer.
No, you got to throw that shit to me, and I'm going to fucking crack it open and pour it over my face.
Not upstairs, Steve. Go down. It's like having a child in the house.
It's ridiculous.
Now I'm going to pour this shit over my face, Stone Cold style. That's the bottom line. We're going to turn this shit up. We're going to get lit.
No, we're not getting lit. Go downstairs and get back to your whatever it is you do.
Oh, you ain't no fun, ADC. Goddamn. Fucking award-winning podcast ain't more than shit. Piece of shit. Goddamn. Worst podcast ever.
I'm picturing the real Stone Cold Steve Austin saying the word lit. And it just doesn't seem to fit.
Well, that is the real Stone Cold Steve Austin, and we just call him Basement Steve here.
That popped me. That was good.
Well, I guess I'll drink this beer. I didn't
never
throw
threw it back. That's
no,
true.
Fuck that. You're not pouring beer all over yourself in my living room. What is this, fucking frat house?
You are outrageous. I like, if we ever did a video podcast or people like it's ridiculous sitting across from you watching you do this crap. It's unbelievable. Oh man, I'm
an insane person. Raider Max the Constant says,
man,
which would be better fantasy match, Rollins versus Guerrero, Ciampa
Tommaso Ciampa
versus Benoit, or Gargano. I'm all fucked up with my A's now. A versus Steamboat. This is a tough one. This sparked a lot of debate on our Twitter feed, and I like it.
It was a good one, yeah. I like these type of questions because it's not really current what's going on. It's kind of fantasy booking, having some fun.
This is interesting because this is like three different types of wrestling. The Rollins Guerrero would be like one hell of a high flying match. Wicked, like a lot of springboards. The frog splash.
Yeah.
Against frog splash would be fantastic.
Two different types of frog
Then you got
splashes,
Ciampa Benoit, which would be the brawl, the hard hitting, just super dangerous knife edge chops going 100 miles an hour. Then Gargano Steamboat would be like the technical extravaganza where these guys just put on a display of great holds, great moves, ring psychology.
I don't know. I'll let you go first.
Okay. My gut said Rollins Guerrero.
Is that what you're sticking with?
I think so.
Damn it, I was going to say the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like their styles would be, I mean, they're all of them kind of match each other.
Eddie was so good, man.
He was so good. And I think, honestly, like Eddie against anyone. It's a great question, and it's a tough one, but I think Rollins Guerrero would just.
Could we get Shine involved in the storyline somehow?
No.
Eddie, I'm going to steal your mamacita.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me tell you something, Seth Rollins, man. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, I'd have to go Rollins Guerrero. I think that would just be lights out.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Yeah. Good question.
Dave Lightfoot at King of Mad Props. He is the king of mad props because he always gives me mad props on stuff. So
you gotta live the gimmick. Woo!
Seeing all the back and forth with Angle and Corbin lately on Raw, do you and Matt the Marquis believe they'll eventually have a fight for control of Raw? I think that's it's a good idea, but I don't think it would be a good match. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see.
I don't see
really
Corbin
mean.
Running Raw.
No, and it also sounds really mean to say this, but I don't see wasting like one of Kurt Angle's last matches ever on Baron Corbin.
Totally.
It's totally mean, but I don't know.
No, I get it. I feel
his belly has a face, so
and I can't see Corbin being the main guy making matches and running Raw.
A match with me would be a waste.
Jesus.
Mike Gordon says once Paul Heyman is done with that asshole Brock, big fan. I'm a piece of shit Lesnar.
How do you really feel, Mike?
Well, Mike Gordon, you're about to get fucked up. He says, Matt just did a spit
Bad
take.
time to take a sip of water.
Go make me a steak, Mike Gordon. Medium well, make it well to overdone.
I've got water in my nose.
Maybe that's how Heyman started crying. Maybe just snorted water first.
Yeah, water.
Who should his next client be out of these four? He says Bayley on Raw, Asuka on SmackDown, the Authors of Pain on Raw, or Nakamura on SmackDown. I feel like these are all similar except for the Bayley choice. Bayley's the most interesting to me because we've seen Paul Heyman work the best recently with people who actually do have a bit of a personality.
Yeah.
Like, remember when he tried to do the Curtis Axel thing? He tried to do the Cesaro thing, just talking for somebody who can't speak. Actually, it didn't work that well. And I don't know if it just they didn't go all in on it or what, but I think the Asuka thing would just be kind of meh. I think the Authors of Pain might be okay if the Authors of Pain could at least speak up for themselves a bit. But and Nakamura, like Nakamura's proved to be really interesting. So I think you'd have to look outside that group for somebody that would work really well. Like maybe a Roman Reigns, a guy who can speak but is enhanced by Paul Heyman.
If it is someone like Roman Reigns, then Reigns has to be full heel. He can't be this.
No, totally. Like the CM Punk and Paul Heyman pairing worked so well. And that was because they could both talk.
That would be good. That would be good. Because then sometimes, because you'd still have, like, it'd be actually kind of cool to see Roman, like, just standing behind Paul.
Yeah,
letting
and
him
then
be
just
the mouthpiece with his chin up in the air like that. He's got that chin for it, too, to just have it up in the air like, I don't need to talk to you. I'll let Paul do it.
Yeah, but then when he wants to, he's still
Then
got
he
that
can do
swagger. He's still the big dog, and he still has a lot of shit to say. Okay, let's keep going. This is a very long episode so far. Jim Martin, I have to be honest, there are a few things I've enjoyed more on Raw lately than Roman sucker punching Baron Corbin. I smacked Corbin, he said. Hashtag, didn't the CBC have a short-lived show called Empire a decade or so ago? I don't know. But then he also went on to say, and I think this is interesting to see the other side of the coin. He said, and then I heard the B team's new music, heart, 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 laughy face, thumbs up, BBB, hashtag B team love. So I guess he loved the new theme song. And we're just old fuddy-duddies.
I'm sure, you know what? I'm sure there's people out there that loved it. I could see, you know what? Maybe over time it'll grow on me like a fungus. I don't know.
A disgusting wart.
Yeah. I can't see liking it.
It'll grow on us like a couple of pom-poms.
Good on you for liking it.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, good for you for being open to new things and not stuck in your ways like me.
Absolutely.
Our boy Joe, big fan of the show, says, he was actually tweeting to us as well as Raider Max. He says, was thinking about this. Yeah. What if all this talk about either Charlotte or Becky turning heel is just smoke and mirrors to at some point have the story become about bringing the four horsewomen together? That's very interesting because we're so stuck on this being who's going to turn. Meanwhile, Evolution is a pay-per-view. Four horsewomen, we want you. Could be the angle.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that Becky called out Sasha and Bayley this week as well.
That's true.
And I don't know if it would bring them together in terms of being like a four-person team.
You want a teacup right now?
No, stop it.
Teacups, Matty.
Nope.
Come on.
But I could see it something where they do lead into this women's tag division, and if and that these two would be the
Sally
top,
today, aren't you?
Yeah, that these would be the top two teams on respective brands who would fight for the titles. I kind of mentioned this last week.
You made a good point before the show though about the like Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke.
They're too far out. I think. I don't think
they're
just ready.
Starting.
Yeah, I don't think they're ready yet to be. When is it? September. No, October 18th.
October is Evolution.
I mean, the nice thing with them is that they don't need, like, they're not starting from scratch. They need to learn the basics of pro wrestling.
It's too soon for that at Evolution, but it's not too soon for it to maybe happen at WrestleMania.
Royal Rumble, maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, we're so focused on turning heel and stuff like that. We haven't even considered
You could honestly have Charlotte and Becky feud starting now, all through Survivor Series and everything. They could maybe be on a team and they could break up, whatever. Or they could just have it at Evolution where they break up. And then you could have, by WrestleMania time, the four horsewomen have maybe won a match at Survivor Series. They've started to run the division or something. And Charlotte and Becky have to put their differences aside and come back together for this match at WrestleMania. There are possibilities.
There are.
Move on.
What about, and just before we move on.
I want to move on.
What about a Survivor Series match, MMA versus WWE?
Yeah, I mean, that's totally possible. After
I don't
Evolution.
know how it would work with heel face, but whatever.
Well, maybe a good way to end Evolution would be like that match with Becky and Charlotte winning, and then Ronda coming out with her her ladies
crew,
in
yeah.
tow just to show face.
It'd be cool. I think people will go nuts for it.
When you consider there's going to be 8 people in that match,
Yeah.
Jessamine and Marina don't have to do much.
No,
or
no,
Maria.
not really.
It's Maria, not Marina.
Yeah, not really.
She's not a place where, you keep animals and swimming stuff.
Yes, yeah.
Beef says is at Paley Beef, but I'm sure you could just search beef and find him. Not a lot of beef out there on Twitter, not name-wise anyway. There's lots of beefing on Twitter.
Yeah.
I would really love to know what the Macho Man Randy Savage thinks of Hogan's NWO announcement October 27th. What do you and Matt think will happen that day? Well, we kind of talked about what we think might happen that day. Macho Man, are you listening?
Oh, yeah, dig it. Yeah, I've been listening up in heaven. The ADCW, yeah, the ADCs are wrestling dicks. Oh, yeah, the cream of the dick talk crop. Oh, yeah, dig it.
Okay, it's not about
Not
dicks.
what it
but
is.
That's
It's not
fine.
what it is.
Oh, yeah, I know it's what it's about. Yeah, it's all about wrestling with dicks. Yeah, let me talk about Hulk Hogan, his announcement. Yeah, talking about that NWO black and white. Yeah, I was part of that too. Everybody forgets about the Macho Madness being a part of the black and white NWO. Yeah, maybe I should be a part of that announcement. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I think there's certain universal elements at play that make it kind of impossible for you to be a part of whatever's
He's dead.
is going to happen.
Oh, yeah, thinking if I'm talking to you now, why can't I be on whatever stupid podcaster show they have? Yeah.
He's dead in real life.
Probably because this is me doing your voice and you can't be there.
You're dead.
I'm not dead yet. I'm just living in a little condominium on the moon. Ooh, yeah, dig it, yeah. Freak out. Whatever Hogan says in his little shitty Comic Sans advertisement for this video is going to be something completely underwhelming. And that's why I'm going to drop the big elbow at the end of it. Yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah, fair enough.
there you have it. I guess that makes sense. That was all off the cuff. I hope that was good enough.
I stopped listening.
I never
I was
listen to
reading the
myself.
rest of the tweets.
You should
yeah.
never listen to me, really.
I try not to.
Our boy Gingy says, if you and Matt DeMarc could go back in time and get into the wrestling business as either a commentator, a manager, or even a wrestler, would you? Matt DeMarc, go first.
Absolutely yes, and I'm actually even at my elder age of
Your advanced
35,
age.
I'm still thinking there is a local training facility here just for fun. I just want to go and check it out.
I think you're
it's
crazy.
a commitment though. It's a big commitment because you can't just go and try a course. Like
They're
going
going
to
to weed you out
for a
day
year.
one, guaranteed. Because
And that's it, right?
they're going to take you day one. They're going to make you do flat back bumps
Yep.
and then get up and run in place and flat back bump.
Yep.
And you're going to puke. And then it's
But-
basically going to realize that you can't do it.
But you know what? I also got a baby on the way and I want to get in shape. What better way than just going to a shitty gym? This could actually be a fun way to do it and also hate myself at the
I
same time.
just don't think you can get in shape at wrestling camp. You have to be in shape to make it.
Nope. They do a full fitness class. I've
Okay,
gone deep
that's
into the
pretty badass.
research, but
No.
either way, I would friggin' love to do it. And even just to have one match, even if it was a squash match as a jobber, I think it would just be amazing.
Oh, I think it would be fantastic,
so
and we
good.
would definitely have to, record
yeah.
it and
Yeah.
tweet it and be all out, and we'd have to podcast
Yeah.
about the process, which
Absolutely.
we've actually talked about.
We have
which would
talked
be
about it,
awesome. So that's Matt's answer. Me, I would never become a wrestler. After cracking my head open yesterday and seeing how just much it derailed my entire day, I know I could not be a wrestler because I would twist my ankle day one and be like, this is not for me, guys. I'm out. But I really do think that I think I could make it as a wrestling announcer, and I think it would have been really cool to try to do that someday. And you know what? Maybe some future opportunity will arise if the podcast ever takes off and people
I
hear
may
my
need
voice.
a manager someday.
That's true. Mouthpiece, baby. Maybe Macho Man will manage you
Yeah.
from beyond the grave.
He's dead.
But no, I would love to do announcing or something. And if you ever do that thing, we would definitely have to take some cool photos in the ring and
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
get our promotional package together, if you will.
Yeah.
Check out my promotional package.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, we would in different respects. Mary Carr says, do you think there'll be any call-ups after Survivor Series? I kind of hope Velveteen Dream gets called up, but don't want him buried in the mid-card. Also would like to see Nikki Cross get the call-up too. I like the Nikki Cross idea. I don't like the Velveteen Dream idea. Give Velveteen a longer run. He's killing it down there.
He's killing it down there. He's certainly ready. I don't think he would. He could definitely do it on the main card. I just don't think they would have a program for him that would work.
I don't think this is traditionally the time they call many people up. So maybe a little, throw a wrinkle in the dynamic of the Sanity program by bringing up Nikki Cross would be kind of cool. But I also think they just introduced a few new women and they got the Mayon Classic. So not the time.
Just
not the time.
one sec before we move on. So
You're the worst.
We've been
this
talking
is an hour
about,
and a half show at this point.
But before we were talking about the the Deleter of Worlds and seeing more stuff at the Matt Hardy compound and stuff. So the last couple weeks with Dream, they've actually been doing some like vignettes and so on with him and EC3 and the Dream experience, and he takes him to, which is very clearly a hotel pool, but they make it seem like it's his like
right.
And it's just so. NXT is doing the type of stuff that we love, and they're doing it with Dream, and they've got all these like songs and groovy music. It's very good. So.
I wish Matt went to NXT. Would have been great.
Yeah, he could have killed it down there. God. Anyways.
Mason Martinez says, I was just watching SmackDown and something occurred to me. The Bludgeon Brothers are the template for how Ascension should have been booked on the main roster. What do you guys think? Here's my thing with that. The Bludgeon Brothers have been booked that way, and we don't care about them. Maybe it's just because the gimmick is stupid and they're called the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, it's a
and
terrible
they have
name.
toy hammers.
Yeah.
And
hey,
they wear
those are real
patchwork
hammers.
clothing.
They're fucking real hammers, you piece of crap. If I didn't know you weren't going to throw me a beer, I'd come up there and whip your ass.
Well, that's a real strong argument, Steve,
Yeah.
to knock him up here. Yep. What a wuss.
Careful.
What?
He's a wuss.
Careful.
Anyway. 50 Shades of Gary. I think you're a new tweeter. Says
I
with
think Mason
SummerSlam
was too as well.
I think Mason I've heard from before on the Twit machine, but
I don't know if we've been on the show. Anyways.
I don't know. Anyway, we're glad to hear from you new guys. Honestly,
Yeah,
we had a lot of
absolutely.
tweets this week, and we had to pare down, like I said, so it's nice. 50 Shades of Gary, great name, says, with SummerSlam so close, what matches are you looking forward to, and what are your predictions for who will win? Well, I think we've talked about what we're looking forward to. If you want to know who we think is going to win, stick
Good segue.
around. Check out the show next week. We're going to have SummerSlam predictions for you motherfuckers. It's going to be great.
That's aggressive.
JBL's mad today, Matty. This is awesome. I'm swearing in real time, you piece of shit.
Okay. Wow.
Anyway, like I said, next week we're going to have a SummerSlam predictions. I think it's going to be a pretty fun show. You know, maybe that's all we'll do. We'll just look at the SummerSlam card like we did for Extreme Rules and talk strictly about that event because Raw and SmackDown are likely going to be pretty rinse repeat. Not much will happen.
I think we'll do like we did a Predictomania. We'll do a Slam, whatever you want to call it. You're more creative than I am in that sense.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about NXT as well.
We'll talk about all the summer slants and
you need to catch
angles.
up on NXT this week so we can chat.
I will. And
yeah.
Hey, maybe I'll make that Steve video for the end of the week. Or maybe I won't.
You should work on that. It's been 2 weeks.
We'll see. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll try to change my name 600 more times first. Every day I go in and I try it and it comes back changed too recently.
You don't know. You don't know if every time you do that, it's starting the counter over.
I really hope not.
Just saying. Might want to stop.
But like, how could it be starting the counter over?
I'm just saying. You don't know.
So basically what you're saying right now is I should wait until like November and try again?
No. Well, maybe because you keep trying.
Fuck me.
The worst part is you know that I'm wrong and it's not possible, but it's in your head now.
It is possible, though. It is possible. Yeah, it is possible, Matty.
Is that The Undertaker? Oh, my God.
Oh, we haven't had him on in a while.
I heard you were talking about maybe having a producer for the show, and I was the first celebrity you ever had on the ADCs of wrestling, and I would be annoyed if I was not your guest producer.
You know what it means? You have to be here every week to record that shit.
All right, fuck that. I'm out. Peace out, you bitch.
Thanks, Mr. Taker. Anyway, join us next week for our prediction show. If you enjoy this show, please do what Eddie Kokosinski did. Go and review, leave a 5-star rating, some nice comments, tell your friends. Just like, I forget who did it this week, but he got his new friend listening to it. I think it might have been Jim Martin. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Jeff Willis? Might have been Jeff Willis.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Thanks for doing it, though.
Thanks for doing it. We got new listeners all the time. Our ratings are going up every week. It's really nice. So leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Tell your friends. Like I said, tweet the show at ADCs of Wrestling. That was also the name of the Facebook page and the Instagram and stuff. There's no Cox. And the YouTube channel is still youtube.com/Andrew David Cox. We'll ignore what the actual page says. And I am on Twitter at Andrew David Cox. Matt the Mark is at Matt the Markiest.
Yep.
We look forward to hearing from you. We'll see you next week. Ball game.
Peace.
Peace out, you bitch.